We usually think of words as just labels, right? Things we just stick onto the world that's already there. But what if they're more like blueprints? What if language isn't just for describing reality, but for actually building it? That's the huge idea we're going to dig into today.
So let's just get right to it. Here's the big question that's going to guide us. Do our words just point at stuff that exists, or do they have this incredible power to actually bring new realities to life? It's a heavy one for sure, but stick with me.
And to get our heads around this, we're going to look at two things that could not be more different. On one hand, we've got a dictionary trying desperately to save the last echoes of a very real, very ancient world. And on the other, an anonymous online philosophy that's trying to manifest a whole new one from scratch. This is going to be interesting.
Okay, first up, a language to preserve. We're heading into the mountains of Sardinia to look at the Dictionary of Momoyada. And this is about so much more than just collecting old words. This is about using language to anchor a community to its shared reality.
See, the Momoyadino dialect is hyper-specific to its home. The words you find in this dictionary aren't just abstract ideas. Oh no, they are tangled up in the land, the tools, the food, the entire social fabric of the community. They're like anchors holding down a physical world.
Okay, check this out. Take a word like atarjacheru. You could just say tool, but that doesn't even begin to cover it. This one word describes a very specific historical object, a little steel gadget that's a fire starter, a screwdriver for old rifles, a blade sharpener, and a nail puller. A whole history of daily life packed into a single word.
Or how about this one, koryolu? It's not just a gift, it's the very specific tradition of sharing sweets with your neighbors whenever you bake. This word doesn't just describe a ritual, it defines it. It reinforces the bond between families. It makes you wonder, right? If you lose the word, does the tradition start to fade away? And it goes even deeper than objects or social customs. Look at Batiar. Sure, you could translate it as baptism, but you'd be missing the best part. It means the entire ceremony, including this amazing local tradition where kids sing a little rhyme and get showered with candy and almonds. The word holds the memory, the joy, the whole ritual, all in one.
So here's the key. The dictionary's creators say their whole goal is to protect the language in all its nuances and differentiations. They get it. They know that if these words disappear, they're not just losing labels, they're risking the entire fabric of the reality that those words hold together.
All right, let's do a complete 180. If the Sardinian dictionary shows us how words can preserve a world, what happens when you use them to create a world from thin air? We're leaving behind an old physical reality and jumping headfirst into a new metaphysical one, born in the anonymous corners of the internet.
This is the world of the nobody. It's basically a philosophy, a whole new worldview that grew up on online forums. And its goal is the exact opposite of the dictionary. It's not about saving the past, it's all about building a new future. And that starts with brand new ideas and, of course, a new language to go with them.
And right out of the gate, the central claim is just massive. The nobody isn't some victim of circumstance. Nope, they are a creator. A powerful one who can literally control reality with their mind. Now that is a foundational belief for a new world.
And if you're going to build a whole new reality, well, you need a new vocabulary. You need new blueprints. And you can see them right here. Phrases like becoming spiritually ascended humans or changing the vibration of the planet. This isn't just jargon. This is the scaffolding, the linguistic framework for seeing the world not as it is, but as you believe it can be.
So we have these two completely different worlds. One trying to save a shared past, the other trying to manifest an individual future. But for all their differences, they rely on the exact same fundamental tool.
And there it is, the connection. This quote from the Nobody philosophy just says it out loud, what the Momoyadino dictionary proves without saying a thing. Reality, whether you're trying to hold on to it or create it from scratch, is built with words.
So let's just put it all side by side. For the Momoyadino dictionary, words are anchors. They hold a community tight to its shared physical world. For the nobody, words are engines. They empower an individual to build a totally new personal reality. Preservation versus creation. They're just two sides of the very same coin.
And this is important, this power to create new worlds, especially when you're anonymous online, it's not always so simple. It's a complex, kind of messy place. On one hand, it is absolutely full of sincere spiritual searching, people trying to improve themselves.
You'll find language being used to build a better, more peaceful vision for the world, Like this idea here,
blessed are the peacemakers. But on the other hand, that same anonymity that lets people explore spirituality, it also lets loose the complete opposite. It can become a place of just raw, unfiltered aggression, a place where words are used not to build, but to tear down.
I mean, the language can be absolutely brutal. Words are literally weaponized to create a reality of pain for someone else. It's a pretty stark reminder that the power to create is also the power to destroy.
And it can also breed this really deep cynicism, this conspiratorial way of thinking. This kind of language builds a world of paranoia and mistrust, where every single interaction feels dangerous.
So all of this brings us to the final, really crucial point. We've seen these two paths that language can take. What on earth does that mean for us?
When you boil it all down, it seems like language really has two big jobs. It can be an anchor, like we saw with the Mamiano Dictionary, tying us to a real, collective history, or it can be a tool, like with the nobody philosophy, used to build a brand new individual future.
One path is all about preserving the we. The other is about forging a powerful I, but the fundamental process, it's exactly the same. Both of these realities, the one we share and the one we build for ourselves, are put together piece by piece, word by word.
And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Because whether we're conscious of it or not, every single one of us is doing this every single day. So maybe take a second and just ask yourself, which words are you using and what kind of world are you building with them?